Right, it's a bit parky today. I'm Richard Mann from Richmond Port Motors, and I'm going to jump straight in and show you some winter checks. So you have your usual summer checks, so checking your oil, checking your tyre pressures, I tend to think having one of these compressors that you can plug into your cigar lighter is a must. But let's get on specifically to the winter checks. So normally you'd check that you had the right level of antifreeze and coolant in your car, and you've got your washer waters. But to check the concentration of your antifreeze, you want to get one of these, which is a hydrometer, and just undo this. And what you do is you put that in the water, you take up a amount of antifreeze. I'll do it again, sorry. Right, you've got two discs that are floating, one that's just beginning to float and three that are down. So if we look on the side, with two discs are floating, you're between +5 and -15, and three discs would have been -10 to -23. So just put that back in there. Right, so that's your coolant antifreeze for the car. But what is often also overlooked is your antifreeze in your water. This is for your washer screen water. This is on a Volkswagen. Sometimes the antifreeze tank could be black if it's in a Ford, but usually they tend to be clear, and you can see the antifreeze. Right, so your antifreeze comes in different types. You need the right one for your car. Usually they come in colours like green or red. This distinguishes between the different antifreeze that are in your car. Always check that you've got the right colour, because you can't top up, say, yellow antifreeze that you could buy in a shop to a car that's got red antifreeze. They're not compatible with each other. In places like Halfords and that, they have books that tell you what antifreeze you should have, but if that's been changed in the past, it could be different. So always check that you've got the right colour. As you saw in this one, it was red antifreeze. Antifreeze also has a life in a car. You have to change it like oil over so many years. Antifreeze in your engine has a couple of properties. Not only does it stop it freezing when the temperature drops, like today it was -3, but one of the other things it does, it also inhibits corrosion inside your engine, so it keeps your water channels clear, which therefore allows your car to cool down sufficiently in hot weather. So antifreeze is also, or antifreeze coolant is also important to have when it's in the summer, to make sure that your car doesn't throw up and it's cooling to its best potential. Now, I've also seen people put the windscreen wash, which also people talk to as antifreeze, inside the coolant, and also vice versa. So make sure that you get the coolant antifreeze for your coolant, but also make sure you put antifreeze screen wash in your screen wash as well. I've had a few cars that have came in where people have just topped up with plain water, possibly doing that in the summer just to wash the windows, and they've not bothered with the screen wash. What has happened when you get to cold weather like today, or a bit colder, the water in your washer bottles freeze, but it also can freeze in the motor or the pump that sprays the water on your car, and therefore that's quite an expensive repair, where you need to get new new pump for your windscreen washers as well, and also your headlight washers. Usually headlight washers and screen wash is in one container. On some cars it could be on different containers. So using a hydrometer, I'll put a link in below. It shows you how to check your level of coolant antifreeze. And you have two options. The first option is you can buy neat antifreeze, which you mix with water. usually at a ratio of about 50-50, but in colder climates you might want more coolant antifreeze to water, or you can buy antifreeze that is already mixed, usually at a 50-50 level. Obviously check that you're buying the right antifreeze for your car. Places sometimes have books in there which you can check that you're getting the correct coolant for your car, but obviously it's the colour that's important. Now there is a company, I think they're called Powerbone. They do an antifreeze which can actually go into both like red and yellow antifreeze cars, so it can actually be mixed. But generally speaking, if you've got a car like this with red antifreeze, and a car like this that's got red antifreeze, you continue to use red antifreeze in it. Like I said, it's important to flush out the antifreeze every few years. They've got a life on them. I think red antifreeze is about 10 years. I'm not 100% sure, I'd need to check that up. And I think the yellow antifreeze is a bit shorter, but again, I'm not 100% sure on this, so it needs to be checked. Now a quick one on tyres. There's a myth going around that you want to put more air in your tyres in cold weather to open up the tread. This isn't the case. What happens in colder weather, we run here in the UK on all-season tyres. You go to other countries like our friends in Germany and France near the Alps, and they have winter tyres for the winter and they use summer tyres in the summer. We have all-season tyres here in the UK, but with the all-season tyres, they run on a compound that is for all-season use, so for winter and summer use. What happens in the winter is the temperatures drop and the tyres do not heat up as much. So this myth that says actually put more air in your tyres and it opens up the tread is a falsehood. You want to run the tyres at the correct manufacturer's pressures. If you've got a range to run it between say 32 and 36 bar, in the winter you want to be closer to the 32 bar, but follow your manufacturer's instructions. They've spent millions of pounds testing tyres and coming up with the correct pressures for the weight of the vehicle. So I hope this video has been of help for you. Like I say, my name is Rich Man Poor Motors. I post videos mainly on the automotive side, so please like and subscribe. And so thanks very much for watching. Please drive safely and enjoy yourselves. Cheers.